Tell us about your grandparents who experienced persecution.
The army tried to force my grandpa Peter to swear an oath to kill for his nation, but he said no, and the general sent him to a mental institute for 2 weeks. The doctor there said he could make fake paperwork to make him look unstable, and he did that. And Peter was sent out of the mental institute and was put in the army for 2.5 years, but he did not swear an oath.
My grandpa Peter, as a child, he was persecuted a lot, and in school his teacher tried to put a red star on his jacket that symbolized communism, but he did not let her, and the teacher purposely lowered his grades and was rude to him. Because of that, he did not get to go to college, and he didn't get a really good education.
The government wanted to jail my great-grandma Nina because she was teaching her kids in biblical teaching. This happened after God miraculously healed her broken leg. Her son Michael went to school and returned his communist ticket saying, "I want to serve God who healed my mom's broken leg." And so the government was even madder, took my great-grandma into prison. And while the court proceedings, they were talking about what they should do to her. And while the people outside were protesting, the people in the church were fasting and praying. And so after that happened, they let her out, and God let her out and helped her, and they dismissed her out of the court case.
When my grandma, when she was 13 years old, people asked her to come to the communists, and she refused, and they wanted to hit her with a chair because she was a Christian.
My grandma got persecuted by getting fined and having church services.
My grandpa, his commanders told him that because he was Christian and he did not take the oath, they could put him to jail for up to 7 years, but by the grace of God, they didn't put him in jail.
The government persecuted him at work.
My grandma was Galena, treated badly, and at school even though she got everything correct, they got treated badly.
My grandfather was persecuted even though he was a good student and did well in school. His teachers constantly lowered down his grades because of his faith in God. When he graduated, and on his diploma, he was under the influence of religion, and that prevented him from being in higher education and college. When my grandpa Peter had church service, the police would often find out through church service, and they would tell my grandpa that he would go to jail in Siberia. My dad and his brothers and sisters were always made fun of in school and also called bad names.
When my grandpa was listening to radio, the police came and took away the Bible and said, "If you gather for prayer, then we will cut the power off."
My grandparents experienced persecution when they gathered up in church services. The government police would raid the place and take away the cars and fine them 50 rubles per person and drive them 20 miles away so that they could never come there again. My great-grandfather was in prison for being a Christian.